Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to Takedown Talks. We are finally back. As always, I'm gonna give you one bet for every single fight on the card from the bottom to the top, and my favorite play of the week at the end of the video. We are coming back after that massive success in UFC Vegas 109. We hit like every single bet except Angela Hill moneyline. We profited over 41 units in one event. Let's keep the momentum going. If you want to access my bets, join our Discord server. It's just $10 a month. If you sign up today, you can get the bets for UFC 319, UFC China, UFC Imola vs Brahalo, UFC Lopez vs Silva Fight Night, all of the good stuff. Let's hop right into it. First fight of the night, Ali Ederias vs Joseph Morales. Ali Ederias predominantly a striker, Morales is a grappler. I didn't follow tough this season, but I did little study about their last couple of fights. Ali looking like the better fighter overall. He can mix in his own wrestling if he wanted to. Joseph is the one who will be initiating the takedowns. I feel like Ali B will be stuffing the takedowns, keeping the fight on the feet, landing the better shots, winning a decision or late stoppage. Give me Ali B by decision. We move on to the next fight of the night, Karina Silva vs Dian Barbosa. It's their second outing. They fought each other back in 2019. Dian Barbosa defeated Karina Silva. They have improved a lot and evolved a lot. Still, it's a close fight in my opinion. Karina Silva is the better grappler by far. Barbosa is the better striker. She has a lot of power in the feet. Karina Silva should have the wrestling and grappling to beat Barbosa, but she gassed bad in her last fight, where Araujo is supposed to be the one with the bad gas tank, but she gassed so bad. She lost the last round to Araujo, where she usually loses the last round. That's not a good look in my opinion. I will still pick Karina Silva, but it's a dog or pass. I see Karina Silva as high as minus 220, Barbosa plus 180, plus 190. The pick is Silva. As for the bet, I'll take over 2.5, minus 230. There's good value on the over 2.5. I think it goes to distance. We move on to the next fight of the night, Sultan Rousimar vs Brian Battle. Rousimar is coming off that win over Dustin Souls first. On the other hand, we have Brian Battle who is coming off win over Randy Brown. Brian Battle is coming up in a weight class. I don't like that for him. Even though that Randy Brown fight was so close, I thought Brian Battle did enough in the last round to squeak out that split decision. Honestly, Rousimar is kind of overrated. His striking is decent, his grappling is decent. He could be so low volume on the feet. He's just waiting for that one kill shot every single time. Brian Battle is so tough, man. I don't think Rousimar will be knocking out or submitting Brian Battle. On the other hand, Brian Battle is the more active and the fighter with the more output. I think Battle will outwork Rousimar on the feet or even on the ground. Unless Rousimar clips Brian Battle, I think he should be the one on the front pedal. I'll pick Brian Battle. As for the bet, I'll take Brian Battle by decision plus 240. There's a good value on Brian Battle decision. I don't think either of these guys finishing each other. I think it goes long. I think Rousimar has been knocked out or submitted once or twice in his 9 losses, and he is tough. Rousimar's striking is so limited on the feet. All I could see is he's waiting to land that right hand, and that uppercut is live to land. Other than that, I don't see anything Rousimar doing on the feet. Yeah, the pick is Battle. We move on to the next fight of the night, Edson Barbosa vs Drakkar Klose. Striker vs grappler matchup. We all know about Edson Barbosa, a phenomenal striker who has not been in a good ride recently, but his losses are to the legit guys. On the other hand, Drakkar Klose is coming off that KO loss to Joel Alvarez. Joel Alvarez is a beast, no shame in that. Both guys are getting up there in age, almost 40 years old. If this fight stays on the feet predominantly, I think Barbosa will get the better of it. But I think Drakkar Klose will be mixing in the wrestling and grappling, striking, clinching. Barbosa usually has a good takedown defense, but once Barbosa is on his back, he's like a turtle on the back. He will not get up. He's comfortable laying on the ground when his back is flattened out. Even when he gets hurt and taken down, instead of getting back to his feet, he prefers to stay on the back to recover from the strikes or the knockdown. He will give up that whole round. If he does that against Drakkar Klose will definitely have a good chance of pulling off an upset here. I think Drakkar Klose will keep the striking close, keep clinching up, taking down Barbosa once or twice in the fight. I think he will do enough to win a 29-28 decision here. Yeah, give me Drakkar Klose by decision. As for the bet, I'll take over 2.5. It's around -125. I like that bet a lot. We move on to the next fight of the night. Alexander Hernandez versus Chase Hooper, grappler versus grappler matchup. Hernandez is coming off that win over Kurt Halaba, where he secured 2 out of 3 rounds to get a unanimous decision win. On the other hand, Chase Hooper is coming off that win over Jim Miller, where he dominated Jim Miller as expected. At one point, Alexander Hernandez was a good prospect on the rise. He had some tough fights. He got defeated multiple times, and he got kind of exposed for his bad cardio and fight IQ sometimes. On the other hand, Chase Hooper, who also had a tough run in featherweight division, after he moved up to the lightweight, he's looking phenomenal. He's filling out the 155 frame quite nicely. Fun fact, Hernandez has lost every single fight that he faced a grappler or wrestler or anyone that has initiated takedowns on him. I think Chase Hooper will be able to get the takedowns early and often. He either gets a submission or a decision win. It's tough to submit Alexander Hernandez. The TKO is live too, but I will take Chase Hooper. Hernandez slows down a lot in the later part of the fight. Chase Hooper has good cardio. I think Chase Hooper will get a decision win or a submission win. As for the bet, I'll take Chase Hooper by submission or decision. It's around at -170. Yeah, I like that bet a lot. We move on to the next fight. Jessica Andrade versus Lupita Godinez. Jessica Andrade, former champion, is on a tough run in the UFC lately. In her last fight, she looked so washed, got finished in the... On the other hand, Lupita Godinez is coming off that win over Julia Palestre. Godinez is known for her lack of fight IQ or coming up with terrible game plans. If she does that here, Jessica Andrade is live for that upset here. Godinez has to mix in the takedowns and the striking and grappling, everything. Make it a MMA fight, not a striking match. If she strikes with Andrade for the 15 minutes, Andrade is live for the upset here. I think Andrade is the better striker at this point. Godinez should have the wrestling advantage here. She could make it easy by taking down Andrade over and over, round after round. But she always does the opposite of what we expect. Gotta be careful with Lupita Godinez, but I think she will get it done. in this part. Andrade is so washed at this point. I can't pick Andrade here. I will take Lupita Godinez. As for the bet, I will take Lupita Godinez money line. I was looking at Lupita Godinez decision. It's around minus 110, 115. I'd rather take Lupita Godinez money line here. We move on to the next fight of the night. Biorkaya is making his UFC debut in short notice, 4-day notice. He just fought 4 days ago. I mean 2 days ago or yesterday, whenever you are watching this video. That is absolutely crazy. He's breaking his teammate record. If you don't know, Chimaya was the one holding the record for least amount of time between their fights. I think Chimaya fought between 7 days or 8 days, 9 days, something like that. Biorkaya accepted his Dana White Contender Series fight in 4 days notice. He wanted to fight in 4 days notice in UFC 319 too. I think Biorkaya is a legit prospect. His striking is fluid. He's training with Chimaya and their team. I think he probably smokes Hernandez here. The line did indicate that Biorkaya is around minus 800. He should win this fight pretty easily. I'll pick Biorkaya. Give me Biorkaya by finish. As for the bet, I'll take Biorkaya inside the distance. It's not out yet, but I will be betting that. We move on to the next fight of the night. Jerrell Marisha versus Mikhail Oleksiejczuk. Grappler versus striker matchup. This is pretty cut and dry in my opinion. If GM3 cannot get the takedowns in the first round or first 2 rounds, I think Mikhail Oleksiejczuk will knock out GM3, or at least hurt him to the point that GM3 can't do anything. If it goes to round 3, it could be dicey. It's early Mikhail, late GM3. If GM3 doesn't get the takedowns in the first 2 rounds, Mikhail has underrated boxing skills and underrated power. He will get the GM3 out of there in the first 2 rounds. If Mikhail get taken down by GM3 and early or even late, GM3 is live to submit Mikhail. Mikhail has been submitted like 6 times or 7 times. Even though it's against 205ers, still his grappling deficiency is there. He's fighting in the team of fighting nerds. I think he will be better at defending the grappling and wrestlings from GM3. GM3 is so hittable on the feet. I'll pick Mikhail Oleksiejczuk by first round knockout. As for the bet, I like GM3 by submission or Mikhail Oleksiejczuk by KO. That's sitting around at minus 175. I also like Mikhail Oleksiejczuk by round 1 KO. It's around plus 250. That's decent. Most of Mikhail's wins are coming in round 1 by knockout, so that's probably his win condition. Yeah, I like Mikhail. We move on to the next fight of the night. Tim Elliot versus Kai Asakura. Grappler versus striker matchup. Tim Elliot is coming off 2-year layoff. His last fight was in 2023, where he beat Sumaderji. On the other hand, Kai Asakura is he made his debut against the champion Pantoja, where he got submitted in the round 2. He did add his moments against Pantoja. I think he landed a knee some point in their fight. Tim Elliot is a scrappy fighter. He makes the fight a lot closer by doing grappling and with his striking. He has win over Tagirul and Beko, even though he cheated a lot, grabbing the fence and stuff like that. He still somehow got the win over Tagir. But I think Kai Asakura is much better striker in this fight. Just because Pantoja took him down and submitted him, I don't think Tim Elliot will do the same thing. He could make it close early. Just maybe he's coming off 2-year layoff. I don't think how he's gonna look. Kai Asakura is so physical, he's so big, he hits hard, he's so fast, he's dynamic on the feet. I think Kai Asakura will get a knockout in the first 2 rounds. If he doesn't get Team Elliot out of there, I think he'll get a decision comfortably. Give me Kai Asakura by KO or points. As for the bet, I will take Kai Asakura KO or points as well. We move on to the next fight. Jared Cananir taking on Michael Venom Page. Jared Cananir is coming off that knockout win over Drakkar Rodriguez. On the other hand, Michael Venom Page is coming off that decision win over Shara Magomedov. Striker versus striker matchup. Skill for skill, Michael Venom Page is the better striker by far. What makes this prediction tricky is that Michael Venom Page is an welterweight. This is not his ideal weight class in my opinion. Yeah, whatever he beaten middleweight Shara Magomedov, but Shara Magomedov is not that good. He went to war with Marc-Andre Barriel in 2025, which is crazy. I don't rate that win a lot. I don't rate that win much. Both guys are getting up there in age. Jared Cananir is over 40 years old. Michael Venom Page is creeping up to 40. I saw Jared Cananir's one of the posts in his Instagram. He's ready to take the W here. He's ready to do whatever it takes to take the W. He even mentioned he's gonna grapple and wrestle in this fight even if it's not his bread and butter. He's a big guy. He used to be in heavyweight, cut down to middleweight. Cananir has controlled Emmawa in the clinch quite a bit. I think Jared Cananir can control Michael Venom Page on the against the fans, or even get the takedowns against Michael Venom Page. Michael Venom Page takedown defense is not that great. Even Logan Storley, who's a lot smaller welterweight, was taking down Michael Venom Page again and again. Jared Cananir gets hold of Michael Venom Page. I think he will squeak out a decision win here by mixing his striking and grappling, pushing Michael Venom Page against the fence, taking him down, controlling him. Even Kevin Holland controlled Michael Venom Page in the round 2. He controlled him in the round 2 and won the round 2. I think Jared Cananir do a lot better than Kevin Holland in the grappling department against Michael Venom Page. Give me Jared Cananir by decision. As for the bet, I will take over 2.5 minus 250. That's a decent play for this fight. We move on to the next fight. Featured fight of the night: Jeff Neal, Hands of Steel versus Carlos Prates. Striker was Jeff Neal is coming off that win over Rafael dos Santos. On the other hand, Carlos Prates is coming off that loss to Ian Machado Gary. I think skill for skill, Carlos Prates has a lot of tools in his bag. Even though Jeff Neal's boxing skills are very good, Carlos Prates' boxing skills are still there. He's more like a kickboxer or Muay Thai fighter, using his knees, elbows, etc. Jeff Neal is tough, man, but Carlos Prates hits hard. Even Neal hits hard, but Jeff Neal gets hit hard too much for my liking. Carlos Prates can catch Jeff Neal with something crazy. If Jeff Neal doesn't get in the front pedal from the first round, I don't think he will get the win here. This is a tough matchup. Jeff Neal has been in a lot of wars. He also slows down in the later part of the fight. We have seen Carlos Prates almost finished Ian Gary in the 5th round in the last 2 minutes or something. I think Carlos Prates can even get a late finish. Jeff Neal has been finished in round 3 before. Carlos Prates can get a finish in the later part of the rounds. Yeah, I will pick Carlos Prates to win by late finish or decision. As for the bet, I will take Carlos Prates by KO or decision. I also like Carlos Pratas to win by knockout in round 2 and round 3, plus 550, plus 2050. We move on to the co-main event of the evening, Lerone Murphy versus Aaron Pico. Lerone Murphy is coming off that win over Josh Emmett. Aaron Pico is making his UFC debut against an undefeated contender in the featherweight division who is ranked number 6, I think, in the co-main event of UFC 319 pay-per-view, which is an absolutely crazy ask if you ask me. This is not an easy debut for Aaron Pico at all. Aaron Pico is an Olympic alternate, transitioned into MMA like 10 years ago. He was fighting in Bellator. He has fought decent competition in Bellator, but he never had a good win in Bellator at all. Even in his career, he never had a good win. His best win is probably Henry Corrales or something, who is also past his prime, 40 years old. He fought Aaron Pico in short notice. He beat Aaron Pico earlier, but Pico got his revenge against an old man. Lerone Murphy is a good striker. He's one of the best winners in the UFC. 16-0. Had some close fights, couple of close fights here and there. Hey, that happens when you are 16-0. Even Khabib had a close fight against Tuba. Anyways, I think Lerone Murphy can keep this fight on the feet to squeak out a decision here. Aaron Pico also has decent boxing. He's predominantly a wrestler. He is making his UFC debut. There is also UFC jitters. If he comes here and tries to knock out, or if he thinks he can knock out Lerone Murphy, that's not a good way to approach this fight. He will pay for if he goes for the finish or hunt for the finish from the first round. Murphy is a legit contender in the featherweight division. We don't know about Aaron Pico at this level. Even in Aaron Pico's fights, even in his victories, when he gets people to the ground, he doesn't control them for too long, or even get round by, or even secure the round by the wrestling itself. Most of the times his opponents gets back to their feet. If you see, Murphy has a 50% takedown defense. That's not bad. If you watch the tape, he gets back up to the feet more often than not. Aaron Pico doesn't have good control. I think Lerone Murphy will outstrike Aaron Pico 29-28 decision. Yeah, I'll pick Lerone Murphy to win by decision. As for the bet, I will take over 2.5. It's around minus 200. I also like Lerone Murphy by decision plus 250. There's that, but I'll stick with the over 2.5 for now. We move on to the main event of the evening, DDP Drakkar. Hey, before we jumping into the main event, if you like making money, making easy money by just tailing couple of bets every single week, become an Elliot member. It's just $10 a month. We profited over 41 units from the one event from last week, UFC Vegas 109 itself. If you played every single bet I posted there, that profit alone will pay for the years of subscription. So don't keep betting, you will miss out the big bets. We had a big bet last week too. I will probably have a big bet this week too. If you want to see that bet, make sure you become an Elite member. $10 a month. We move on. DDP Drakkar Duplessis, the champion, versus Hamza Chimaya. Striker versus wrestler matchup. DDP is the better striker. I see a lot of people saying Hamza is the better striker in this fight. I don't think so, man. I don't think it's close on the striking. Maybe Hamza can make it close, but Drakkar Duplessis is the better striker. He beat Strickland 2 times, just purely striking. Obviously, Chimaya is the better wrestler. He has the better grappling here. DDP has the better cardio. I don't think Chimaya has a bad gas tank. I feel like Chimaya will get the early finish here. Even if he doesn't get an early finish, I think he will do enough to get the first 3 rounds of DDP to secure a decision win. Most likely scenario, I think Chimaya round 1, round 2 finish is most likely. It could be interesting though if this fight extends to the championship rounds. It could be interesting. We will see how Chimaya will look, but I think he will be fine. There is a world where DDP can stuff the takedowns and put it on Chimaya for whole 5 rounds or even get a late finish, but I don't see that happening. I think Chimaya will get the takedowns early, finish DDP early, but never count out DDP. He was counted out in almost all his UFC fights. He came through and became a champion. But Chimaya is a different beast. I will take Khamzat Chimaya by first round submission. As for the bet, I will take Khamzat Chimaya inside the distance as well as his money line. So there's 2 picks. I will take Chimaya money line plus Chimaya inside the distance as the bonus. We came to the last part of the video, which is play of the week. As for the first leg, we will take over 2.5 in the Silva and Barbosa fight. It's around -230. As for the second leg, we will take Kai Asakura KO points. Follow them together. There we have it. That is it for me, guys. Hope you liked the video. Make sure you subscribe and hit the like button. Comment something for the algorithm. If you want to access my bets, join our Discord server. It says $10 a month. You will get next 4 events if you subscribe now. I will see you guys next time. Until then, peace.